Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer, and today I'm gamesplaining the Brigade. The Brigade is a 2 to 4 player game that's going on Kickstarter. It should be launching around the time that I release this video, so we're in July of 2017 if you happen to be watching this at a later stage. Thematically, it is a game of firefighting but within a fantasy universe. So you are troll captains or a goblin captain or something to that effect. You have a water wagon that is magic, so can travel anywhere on the board. And there's abilities on the crew cards that you'll be able to action, but other than that, there's very little element of the theme really coming through. But I don't know if you actually need any more. I kind of like the fact that we've got a firefighting game, but it uses something that's a little bit different than what we've used before, what we've seen before. I haven't seen anything that uses kind of stable elements from our world within a fantasy universe, and I kind of like that. It's a nice outside-the-box approach to game design. This game involves placing a square of tiles that will make the board different every single time you play, and you have stations in each of the 4 corners, and you send your fire brigade out from your own station, and as you go and fight fires, you'll gain renown on those squares where you where you have fought the fires. That sounds wrong to my ear, but I think that's grammatically correct. Let's go with it. And once you've got enough renown on a tile, you'll gain loyalty of the tile. Now, here's where the game really kicks in. Once you have loyalty on a tile, you're able to go to that tile to refill the water within your brigade and on your wagon. Until you have loyalty on any of the tiles, you have to keep coming back to your own corner, your own fire station, to be able to refill your water to go back out and fight more fires. I really like that because it suddenly means that you can start chaining things. Once you start getting loyalty around the board, you can use that really quickly and you don't have to spend as much time traveling from back to your own spot. There's also an ability to upgrade or gradually upgrade various elements, and this is where it gets a little bit gamey and a bit thinking. It's like, oh, which one's the best one to go? And I've tried playing this a few times with upgrading different tracks at different times, and I've found that none of them is the right answer and none of them is the wrong answer. Every single one of them has viability into which one you go after first, or which one you kind of, if you try and take them all around the same level, because you can only upgrade one thing each turn. So if you upgrade one, then one, and then go to the next one, that's fine. If you work really hard to upgrade one of those tracks all the way to the end, and before you get onto another track, that also works fine. It's really well balanced. I'm not sure how it's that well balanced, but it is, and I really like that. If you go into watch the videos, you'll notice that the game I'm playing is definitely a prototype. It's the bits of paper stuck onto other things, and that's cool. So don't judge the game on what it looks like in these videos. It is prototype. If you're not used to seeing prototypes, it's crafted together. Bear that in mind as you're watching the videos, as you're watching the game playthrough, as well as the Gamesplanation. I have played this a few times with a number of the different groups that I play with, and everyone seems to enjoy it. It's a good filler. It runs relatively quickly. There's nothing too spectacularly difficult about the game, except that every turn the fire keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and actually that does build the drama in what you're doing, because you start out with just a few fires dotted around the place that you're going after, but then at some point there's going to be a wind gust which will just make everything catch on fire and intensify all the fires, and suddenly you're working really hard to keep the game going, because there's a point where if 8 of those tiles burn out, the game finishes. So you find yourself fighting against keeping the game going at the same time as trying to get your own loyalty tokens onto the squares, because if you can get 5 of your loyalty tokens onto the right squares, the right tiles, you will win the game. At the same time, you have the ability, if someone looks like they're getting close to it, you have the ability to steal tiles from other players where they've got loyalty tokens already, simply by going and putting out more fires on that particular location than what they've put out, because there's a number on the bottom of each tile that tells you how much fire you need to put out in order to gain the loyalty of the citizens within that tile. Look, there's not a heap of meat on the bones in this game, but there doesn't need to be. It is a filler game. It runs relatively quickly. It's going to be different each time you play it. I've enjoyed playing it. All the players I play with, as I said before, have also enjoyed playing it. And look, I think it's worthwhile having having a bit of a closer look at. So if this helps you make a decision about Brigade or get an idea of what the Brigade is, awesome. Please go watch the videos, get your head around it, see what's going on with the game. It's actually not a badly designed game at all, and quite fun to play. I'll leave it here. If you've got any games that you wish to be Gamesplaned, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to see what games I've been playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm Gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.